Hello fellow audio nerds, I'm Steph and this is Major Hi-Fi. One of my favorite headphones for a big bass response is the Fostex TH909 Mark II. It just has a huge bass and it's super fun to listen to. Well, when I heard about the Fostex TH909, the open back version of the 900, I was super psyched to take a listen to them. Well, this week I got a chance to do just that. So let's go back in time, I'll share with you my first impressions, and then I will meet you right back here for my overall thoughts. Alright, here we go. Hey everybody, welcome to my place. So today I've got with me the Fostex TH909, and I'm super excited to give these babies a listen. So let's see what's inside the box. Alright, so first things first, we've got this documentation here, the owner's manual, the warranty, just some safety information. We've got this cable here. The part that connects to the headphone are these 2-pin connectors, and then we've got to a 6.35 millimeter connector. We've got a headphone stand, it's super nice. And then a drawstring pouch, and then of course the headphones themselves. These are absolutely gorgeous. So taking a look at the headphones themselves, the headband is, pretty flexible here. It's got a thin layer of padding. It's not super thick, but it feels sturdy. It's coated in this sort of leather material. Let's see how it feels. Feels solid. There's a little bit of pressure right here where I'm pointing, but the headphones aren't terribly heavy. At the base of the headband here, you'll see there's sort of this piece which is metal, connects to these metal extenders. Those extenders connect to this piece here which goes across. It's connected to the yoke just by this one screw on this side, and then the yoke connects to the ear cups. It feels really well made, sturdy, good materials and everything. Now, just like the TH900, the ear cups are really, really special. They're made of wood, they're made of Japanese cherry birch, and this is sort of a rigid and sort of strong wood, and it's often used as wooden furniture in Japan. And obviously, you can sort of see how this beautiful red color of the ear cup, this is a lacquer, and it's meant to actually protect the wood, as well as look really pretty. Obviously, the biggest difference between these headphones and the TH900 are that these are open back. Now, the open back grills here, there's 2 layers of them, and it's actually meant to disperse resonances as they come out. It also has just a really good looking look to it, I think. It looks really classy. The ear pads on the headphones are thick and comfortable. It feels like memory foam. You can see how it sort of takes a little bit of time to come back up after I press it. They're not totally symmetrical in the back of the earphone. They're actually thicker than the front, which sort of makes these sit at a particular angle on your head. And the ear pads are really quite comfortable. It's actually really interesting because just sort of taking them off, putting them on my head now, it actually blocks out more sound than I was expecting. Now, this is the OFC cable that comes with the headphones, and it is a little bit bulky, but these are open back headphones, so it's not you need something that's super portable. But the cable seems really well made. It's coated in cloth, as you'll see here. The connectors feel very strong and durable. It just feels like high quality stuff. These headphones are gorgeous. I'm super excited to take a listen to them. So stand by, I'm going to set this up in my home studio and take a listen. Alright, so I'm super excited to take a listen. Let's see what we got here. Just FYI, I've got this review playlist on Spotify, and if you're in the market for headphones, I recommend doing the same thing. Just songs that you really like, that you really know, that you can sort of add to these in different genres that you enjoy. And so when you go and try out some headphones, you can just pull up your your playlist and take a listen. Anyway, you all probably do that anyway. Oh yeah, I was just listening to the song Prince Johnny by St. Vincent, and wow, the low end is super impressive. It's so extended. The kick drum in the song just felt like it pushed downward. It felt really big, but because of that extension, it wasn't masking anything else. And when the bass entered, it also sort of extended downward and just felt super solid, a great foundation. And the bass in that song, in relation to the kick drum, is lower in the frequency spectrum, and because of that sort of just like great extension, the bass just really felt like correct pitch-wise. Like, it just felt more natural and accurate sounding. There's sort of this like enhanced sense of sub energy down there, and it really contributes a lot, especially because the sub energy feels like, for subs, they move pretty quickly. And as a result, like in the chorus of this song, just the bass and the kick drum just like totally contributed to the groove. It just like seemed to bounce. Cool. I was just listening to the song Roll With the Punches by Dawes, and the mid-range is super fun. The guitars felt full, harmonically rich, and they have this sort of like staccato part in the verses, and because it seems like those frequencies just were really quick, like those staccato parts just kind of felt like dancey, contributed to the groove. There's definitely an interestingness to the high mids that I need to listen more to try and put my finger on it. But in this song, Taylor Goldsmith's voice, it sounded more present than usual, but it still kind of remained a similar level in the mix. It just kind of felt like it was brighter, and had a little bit less like body. It didn't feel thin, because really there is a lot of fullness in the mid-range, the low mids and the middle part of the mid-range as well, but it just sort of sat slightly differently in the frequency spectrum in the mix. So, I was just listening to the song Carolina in My Mind by James Taylor, and sort of the most interesting things was the acoustic guitar in the high end. You could really hear the strumming of the strings, the attack of the strings, but its sort of overall sound came across as like kind of light and expressive. The highs also, like everything else, kind of feel like they move quickly. And then also, and this is pretty rare in my experience for James Taylor's voice in particular, but his voice sounded like airy, and it really sort of lets me know that there's some serious high frequency boost stuff going on with these headphones, because usually even if there is like an extended high end or a boosted high end, his voice in particular doesn't come across as like textured, really, if that makes sense. It more so just typically sounds smooth, but I was getting a bit of texture from his voice in this song with these headphones. Alright, yeah, I was just listening to the song Don't Take the Money by Bleachers, and the Soundstage is great on these, and I'm not really surprised by that. In terms of the sense of width, in this song, there were these like wide synths, especially in the chorus, and they just shoot outwards from the head. And likewise, just the amount of low end and the kick drum and the bass synths, they just extend downward. There's a really sort of tall sense of height here, and I can hear it both in that low end of the kick drum and the bass synth, as well as then on the other side of the spectrum, like the highs of these like airy synths and sort of percussion sounds in that song. And then likewise, I was really actually quite impressed, because while there's sort of this sense of just expansiveness overall, the vocal in the song still feels really intimate and close and detailed. So that's a really kind of impressive marriage of being really expansive, but also being able to get up close and personal. So yeah, I'm going to continue to listen to these throughout the week and let you know what my overall thoughts are, what genres work best with these, and everything. So I'll meet you back at the Major Hi-Fi office. Alright, here we go. Overall, the low frequencies on these headphones are marvelously extended, especially considering that they're open back. And this extension sort of creates a sense of naturalness to the low end. Additionally, the low frequencies, the super lows, the subs, feel boosted for sure, and I can just tell that the drivers handle this with such clarity and such ease. It's really quite amazing. The low frequencies just come through with a really kind of quick energy to them, and as a result, there's a sense of punchiness and activity when listening with these headphones. As a result, it really contributes just to the overall emotional impact of low frequencies. So genres that use low frequencies as a way to create emotional impact work really well with these headphones. The mid-range of these headphones is really interesting. It sort of marries thickness with spaciousness. In other words, the low mids definitely have a sense of emphasis to them, and as a result, synths, big electric guitars just come through feeling really full and really just kind of powerful. The high mids have a bit of a dip to them. They're cut a little bit. And so as a result, vocals sort of come through a little bit less thick than they usually do. However, because of a boost in sort of the lower treble region, they come through with a lot of articulation and presence and maintain their level in the mix. The high frequencies of these headphones have quickness and clarity. They're not perfectly even though, and as a result, high-frequency rich instruments tend to sit slightly differently in the mix. There's an emphasis toward the upper treble end of the frequency spectrum, and especially in the upper octave. This upper octave emphasis sort of gives you more of a sense of air, and it really provides a nice sense of texture. Because of that emphasis, and because of just the overall quickness of everything really, cymbals, strings, guitars, all come through with a lot of energy, and they also come through with just a nice sense of lift. In fact, just sort of the mix as a whole kind of feels lifted because of that airiness. As for the Soundstage, it's super expansive, just like what you would want out of an open back headphone. And there's really a lot of great detail in all three dimensions. The one that was most impressive to me though was the sense of height. Because of that expansive low end just shooting downward, and then of course the airiness up above, there's really a great sense of height and tallness that feels really detailed. The sense of width with these headphones just feels so spacious and really just expansive. Especially things that are panned hard out just feel like they shoot outward from the sides, and as a result it just feels really spacious. It's hard to use any other word other than that. But the thing that's most impressive about the width is just that there still remains a sense of intimacy, especially with the vocals and horns that are right up front. And the marriage of those two things just makes it really well done to me. The sense of depth, perhaps the dimension that's most subtle, still feels really detailed and nuanced. It feels just really kind of natural without being too emphasized. And because of the mid-range response, especially just the wholeness of the middle part of the mid-range, room mics and reverbs come through with lots of clarity and focus, and because of that, mixes that utilize those tools as a way to create depth work really well with these headphones. Overall, the Fostex TH909 is a super fun headphone. If you are a bass head, you are going to absolutely love these. It has a really great soundstage. It has a really active, dynamic range, and it also just has such an expansive low end that it will make anything that has really deep bass feel just powerful. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. For more videos like this, be sure to subscribe. And for another perspective on these headphones, be sure to check out the description box down below. I'll leave a link to my colleague's review. Alright everybody, thanks again, and I will see you next time. Bye.